Hey guys, good evening. It is John C. Morley here, Sir Entrepreneur. Great to be with you on Inspirations for Your Life. It's Sunday. It's August 3rd, and welcome to Inspirations for Your Life. If you're new here, well, a big welcome to you. If you are coming back, a great big welcome to you for coming back. Really do appreciate those that keep coming back and really enjoy this amazing content. Our master topic for the week is refining what really matters. And the granular is emotional connection, the heartbeat of relationships. And that is a very key point to basically refining what really matters in your life. If you have not checked out BelieveMeAchieve.com, go check that out after the show. It's available 24 hours a day. Long form content, short form content. You can check it out. I know you'll really appreciate it. Really excited because tomorrow, or I believe Tuesday, I'll be streaming with my brand new laptop. The studio, I'm good, but in my home studio, I have a brand new laptop coming. Actually, I have it here. I'm actually in the process of transferring files right now, which is going to take about 14 hours. I think it's got another 7 hours left. So really happy to do that. Better camera and a lot of the great stuff. And so if you're thirsty or you're hungry, feel free to go get something and come on back, make yourself comfortable. And let's kick this show off. All right, everyone. Great to be with you. Thank you so much for being here. I am your host, John C. Morley, serial entrepreneur, a podcast coach, engineer, entrepreneur, graduate student, video producer, and a lot more, and someone who's passionate and helping you make positive changes in your life. So welcome once again to the Inspirations for Your Life podcast. Your go-to place for unlocking deeper connections, motivation, and leadership mastery. Now, today, we're diving into a topic that I'm going to say truly defines the quality, okay? The quality of, what's in your life. Because every relationship has emotional connection to it. Do you know how to handle that? Whether it's a partner, it's a friend, it's a family member, or maybe a colleague, emotional connection is the heartbeat that builds trust. And this is something I think that should be high on everybody's Richter scale, because without emotion, life is dead. Stick around as I break down 15 powerful insights that will definitely help you nurture and sustain these vital connections in your life. So let's elevate your relationships and your life and help you focus on what really matters. Number one, emotional connection builds trust. Trust is the foundation of any strong relationship. And emotional connection is the bridge that makes it truly possible. When you openly share your feelings and listen without judgment, you create a safe space where trust can just grow and flourish. Without this bond, relationships become fragile and distant. But with it, trust flourishes and strengthens every interaction around you. Number two, guys, feelings deepen intimacy more than all the facts. While facts and information are important, it's the feelings beneath them that truly draw people closer. Sharing what you feel, joy, fear, excitement, or sadness, creates a richer, more authentic connection. It's those emotional layers that invite empathy and understanding, making relationships, well, more meaningful. Number three, active listening fosters closeness. Listening is more than just hearing words. It's about being fully present and showing genuine interest. Active listening means putting aside distractions, making eye contact, and responding, well, thoughtfully. These things deepen attention, and it gets people to understand that you matter, and it helps partners feel truly valued, and of course, allows a greater connection. Number five, eye contact strengthens bonds. The simple act of looking into someone's eyes can unlock powerful feelings of closeness. Eye contact signals attention, honesty, and vulnerability. It's a silent language that says, I'm here for you. I care about you. You matter. Creating intimacy without words, well, that's a real gift. Number five, sharing fears creates vulnerability. Opening up about fears and insecurities can be scary, but it's one of the most powerful ways to deepen emotional connection. Vulnerability invites trust and lets others see the real you, not just a polished version of you. When you share fears, you create space for empathy and mutual support. Small gestures mean a lot. Number 6. Sometimes it's the little things. It's a kind word, a gentle touch, a thoughtful note that build emotional bonds the most. These small acts, care and attention, prove that someone is thinking of you, and they add up over time to create a reservoir of warmth and affection. Number 7, guys, and this is a real important one. And I think it's one that a lot of people, they miss, and that is physical touch releases bonding hormones. Touch isn't just about affection; it triggers the release of oxytocin, often called the bonding hormone. Whether it's a hug, a hand on the shoulder, or a gentle pat, physical touch reduces stress and boosts feelings of closeness, helping relationships feel safe and, of course, loved. Number 8, emotional distance signals relationship stress. When emotional connection wanes, it often signals underlying issues, stress, unmet needs, or unresolved conflict. Recognizing emotional distance early is crucial because it gives you the chance to address problems before, well, they become bigger barriers to intimacy. Number 9, consistent communication is essential for life. Regular, honest communication is the lifeline of emotional connection. It's not about grand speeches, but daily check ins that keep you aligned and connected. Consistency builds rhythm and reassurance, so both people feel well heard and understood. Number 10, empathy bridges emotional gaps. Empathy is the ability to put yourself in someone else's shoes. It's the key to bridging emotional gaps. When you respond with understanding and compassion, you create a connection that transcends differences and magically, yes, guys, deepens trust. Number 11, quality time beats quantity. Spending time together means, but it's the quality of that time that truly counts. Engaging in meaningful conversations or shared activities strengthens bonds far more than just being in the same room without connection. Number 12, authenticity nurtures connection. Being your true self invites others to do the same. Authenticity removes the masks we often wear and lets relationships grow on a foundation of realness. When you show up genuinely, emotional connection thrives. Number 13, nonverbal cues reveal true feelings. Sometimes that unsaid word or thought speaks louder than any words that are said. Body language, facial expressions, and the tone of the voice all communicate the emotions that deepen or challenge connections. Being attuned to these cues helps you understand others on a deeper level. Number 14, guys, and this is one I think that, again, a lot of people miss, and that is conflict can damage or deepen connections. While conflict is natural in life and it happens, how you handle it determines whether connections grow or fall apart. Approaching disagreements with respect, openness, and a desire to understand can actually strengthen emotional bonds and build resilience. Number 15, regular emotional check ins maintain intimacy. Making time for emotional check ins and asking, how are you really feeling? Keeps relationships vibrant and alive. And these honest moments nurture ongoing closeness and prevent emotional distance from taking root. I think sometimes, we all get into a mode where, we're working on our own stuff. But when you connect with somebody, they may not be so understanding that you're going through whatever you're going through. And they shouldn't judge, but I'm here to tell you that it's like you don't get a second chance to make a first impression. So here's the part of the show, guys, I really like. Well, I like the whole show. You guys know that. But what I'm going to do now is I am going to basically give you a personal story of mine. Um, basically one for each point tonight. And it's my hope, guys, that by me revealing this, it's going to get you to transform. It's going to get you to understand that you are enough, that you have so much potential inside you. I think that's a very, very important thing, guys. I mean, a really, really, really important thing. All right. So I hope that these lessons I'm going to share with you um, will, again, get you to, let's say, make some decisions in your life, get you to hop forward, get you to change the way you currently are at the moment. I know this sounds like something you don't want to hear, but I want to give you some advice, if I may. And that is when you're going through some of your old stuff, okay? Some people are not kind because you might have been nice 100 times, but maybe you're going through some personal things right now. Well, the strangers don't care about that. Two things. One, when somebody does that to you, cut them some slack. And try to make sure you don't do it to anybody else. Because don't expect them to cut you slack, even though you're going to probably cut someone else slack. And I think that'll hopefully put you in a better position. So here's my first story, guys, and I hope you like it. A few years back, I was mentoring someone who had just joined our team. He was very talented, but seemed distant and hesitant to speak up in meetings. Instead of pushing him harder, I invited him out for coffee and simply asked how he was adjusting. He hesitated, then opened up about imposter syndrome and feeling like he didn't belong. I shared a time when I felt exactly the same way in my first leadership role. That moment of vulnerability connected us instantly, like, well, a very fast Wi-Fi connection. From then on, he felt safe coming to me with questions and ideas, and I could see his confidence grow week by week. Trust didn't come from performance reviews or formal check-ins. It was built in that honest human moment over coffee. It reminded me that emotional connection is what makes us, well, real and human and lasting, and far beyond professional titles or any expectations. Feelings, guys, deepen intimacy more than facts. Once I had a conversation with a close friend, going through, unfortunately, a divorce. I tried to offer helpful facts, legal resources, financial advice, custody info, but it was like I wasn't getting through. Then I paused and I asked, what does it feel like waking up right now? That simple question unlocked everything. He broke down, admitted he felt like a failure. As a father, like his identity had crumbled overnight. By shifting focus from facts to feelings, we connected on a much deeper, higher level. He didn't need answers. He needed to feel understood. That moment strengthened our friendship more than anything I could have done or said to fix anything. Active listening fosters closeness. During a networking event, I met someone who seemed a bit, well, reserved, but interesting. Instead of dominating the conversation, I leaned in, asked a few questions, and truly just listened, not just to their words, but to the tone and the emotion and the underneath of everything they were doing. I nodded, made some eye contact, and stayed curious about the conversation. Later, the person told me, "You're the first person tonight who made me feel like I actually mattered." That really hit me. I wasn't trying to impress anybody, I was just being present. It was a reminder that people don't crave flashy conversations. They crave being seen and heard, respected. And active listening is how we give that gift to people. But ask yourself, do you do that for others? Do people do that for you? Even if they don't, you can start being the example that you want others to follow. And they will. Eye contact strengthens bonds. I remember talking with my mom one evening about something serious. We were sitting at the kitchen table, and for once, neither of us had a phone in hand. I looked into her eyes, and she talked about her fears around some of the health issues and getting older. And suddenly I realized how rare that moment was. That uninterrupted eye contact felt like time had paused. She cried. So did I. We didn't even say much after. It was the silence and the eyes that did the talking. That moment deepened our bond more than any conversation ever had. It reminded me how eye contact creates its own unique space for intimacy in a way words alone never could. Sharing fears, guys, creates vulnerability. I was giving a talk to a group of new entrepreneurs and suddenly felt, well, overwhelmed with nerves. So instead of powering through with a polished set of slides, I paused and confessed, I still get scared doing this. Every single time the room got quiet and then heads nodded. And that was something interesting, something that I didn't expect. But it happened. It was very real. That moment of honesty broke the ice like nothing else ever could. People came up afterwards to thank me for being real, and it sparked deeper connections than any motivational story could have. Sharing fears isn't weakness, guys. It's an invitation for others to feel safe. Sharing theirs, too, is what they'll do. And that's where the trust starts to build and connection really begins. Small gestures mean a lot. There was a colleague I admired who always seemed so strong and in control. One day I noticed he looked extra tired, so I left a sticky note on his desk. You're doing an amazing job. Just wanted you to know someone sees you. He later told me that he had been on the verge of burnout, and that note made him cry in a good way. It didn't cost me anything but, 30 seconds of my time? Yet it made a huge emotional impact. It reminded me that small, thoughtful acts are often the loudest ways to say, you matter, you belong. Physical touch releases bonding hormones. A good friend of mine lost a loved one suddenly, and when I saw him, words didn't come easily. So I just hugged him. He held on tightly and didn't let go for a long time. The hug said what we both couldn't verbalize. I'm here. You're not alone. Later, he told me that hug saved me from breaking down completely. Physical touch has the quiet magic that grounds us, calms us, reminds us we're loved in that moment. Science didn't matter, but the oxytocin surely did its job. It created a silent, powerful, sacred connection words would have failed to build. Emotional distance signals relationship stress. There was a period when one of my closest friends and I weren't talking much. It wasn't due to a fight, just a slow emotional drift. We were both busy, and check ins became, well, surface level. One day I realized I missed feeling close to them, not just hearing from them. I reached out and said, I feel like we're losing our rhythm. Are you feeling that too? It led to an honest conversation about stress and emotional fatigue. That openness helped us reset. Catching emotional distance early gave us the chance to reconnect before the friendship faded and just became more of a project. We turned it into something that we really found joy in and was able to, let's say, rekindle the energy we had, that fire. Consistent communication is essential, guys. When I started a long time ago, um, working on a new project daily, it was important for me, even just 60 seconds, to think about that project before I even started my day. It wasn't always deep, but it created a rhythm. Other people on the team noticed that I was serious with, I'm here, you matter, I care. See, those small, steady touch points keep us emotionally in sync, even when life, well, gets hectic. Eventually, it became something we both and the rest of the team look forward to, an anchor in our day. It taught me that communication doesn't have to be long winded or profound. It just has to be consistent, and it has to be full of integrity and heart. That consistency that we had with myself and the group built emotional momentum, and the momentum kept the connections alive in a way that we didn't even know we could do. Empathy bridges emotional gaps. I once had a disagreement with a team member who seemed, unmotivated. By instinct, um, I wanted to confront the situation directly. But instead, I sat down and asked, what's been weighing him down lately? He admitted he was dealing with some parent's illness and struggling to focus. That shift from judgment to empathy changed everything. We created a plan to help manage both work and personal life. Not only did performance improve, but so did our relationship. That moment reminded me when you lead with empathy, you open a bridge between two hearts, even in the difficult times. Quality, guys. Quality time beats any quantity. One weekend, I spent an entire Saturday with a friend of mine. We were both distracted on our phones, doing errands, half engaged. Later that week, we met for just 30 minutes over coffee, fully present with each other. And that moment felt richer than the entire weekend did. That experience drove home the truth. It's not about how much time you spend, but how deeply you engage in the time that you spend with people. 15 minutes of meaningful conversation beats 5 hours of disconnection. Presence, non proximity just creates emotional drift. And I think when we're aware of it, we can do something to adjust it. Authenticity nurtures connection, guys. There was a period when I was trying to keep it all together at work, always polished, always positive, but inside I was struggling. One day I finally admitted in a team meeting, I'm having a tough week. I'm just trying to manage everything. Instead of losing respect, I gained trust. Colleagues started opening up too, and culture shifted to something more real and supportive than, oh, those interesting moments that were going nowhere. These moments taught me that showing up authentically doesn't make people pull away. It invites them to meet you where you are. Let me say that again. Showing up authentically doesn't make people pull away. It invites them to meet you where you are. And people that aren't going to meet you, well, those are probably people you don't want in your life. Those are superficial people. Nonverbal cues reveal the truth, guys. During a family gathering, I noticed a relative of mine was unusually quiet. The person smiled when spoken to, but their eyes seemed distant and their posture withdrawn. I pulled aside the person and gently asked, are you really okay? The person broke down, admitted they were going through a personal crisis, but didn't want to ruin the vibe of the party. That moment reminded me how often people hide emotional pain behind polite expressions. Nonverbal cues are the hidden language of emotion, and paying attention to them shows true care. Conflict can damage or deepen connections. I once had a heated argument with a close friend about something we both cared very deeply about. For a while, it created tension, and I worried the friendship might fracture. But instead of avoiding it, I asked to talk calmly this time. We both listened, acknowledged each other's viewpoints, and even admitted our own mistakes. The disagreement, rather than breaking us apart, brought us closer. It showed me that conflict isn't inherently destructive. How we handle it determines whether it tears down or builds up connection. But we can't let fear keep us from repairing something that can be so real. Regular emotional check ins maintain intimacy. With one of my closest friends, we made a habit to check in weekly with simple questions. How are you? I mean, really, not the, how are you? And then people don't care kind of answer. That one word really opened the door for honesty. Some weeks later, the answers were heavy. Other times they were light, but they were always real. These check-ins became more than a habit, guys. They became rituals of emotional closeness. They taught me that if you don't make space and time for emotions regularly, disconnection is inevitable and will quietly take its place. Consistency in emotional care is what keeps bonds thriving. And I think when we can take the time to actually be grateful for the people in our life, those people will surprise us with ideas, inspirations, and pathways that can help us on our own journey. This whole week, guys, we're talking about something that I hope will resonate with all of you, and that is refining what really matters from possessions to purpose. And emotions, well, that's something that matters. That's a purpose. I think the people that don't want to talk about emotions are the ones that are trying to hide them, or the ones that realize that they know they're being untruthful or not full of integrity. And they're just kind of hoping that no one's going to notice. But I have news for you. You may fool some of the people some of the time, but you can't fool all the people all the time. And that once or twice or even 3 times you get away with it, you're going to feel like a hero. But when the truth finally does ring out, you're like, oh, well, that's not exactly what I meant. You get my ideas, guys. Ladies and gentlemen, I do invite you to check out, of course, believemeachieve.com for more of my amazing, inspiring creations. That's short form content, long form content. You can rewatch the show. You can watch other shows. You can watch my reels. There's so much stuff there. I challenge you tonight or today, whenever you're watching this, to dig deep, to ask yourself, do you value things in front of you? Everything from a cup of coffee, maybe a cup of tea, a slice of pizza, or maybe even the warm covers or the great roof you have over your head. If you don't, I encourage you, not for me, but for you and for those around you, to make sure that you say thank you and that you are grateful. Because when you are grateful, more